Hello everyone, this is Professor Caruso, and the purpose of this screencast is to teach you how to add voice to your Prezi presentation. I have created a very generic Prezi, and for purposes of this example I am going to use a planner, although I have not populated anything within the Ed.D model here. It's just for representation purposes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Prezi presentation into edit mode. And as you can see, I've already begun adding frames that go through the Ed.D process, and these frames are associated with these paths on the left. So if I click on path number 2, this is where I'm going to include my picture of my planner. Path number 3 is where I'm going to begin talking about the analyze phase of the Ed.D model. Now you are going to assume that you are in front of a class, and so within your frames, please do not populate it with word-for-word narration. Instead, you should be brief in the items that you put within each frame, but your voice narration is going to thoroughly explain what you have in the frames. So in other words, we all know how to read, so we don't need you to read to us. We just need this to be much like a presentation. So let me show you how to add voice over narration. If I wanted to begin with some sort of introductory statement about the project, I might want to add something to this path number 1, which is the main title, Planner. And I'll do a couple of other paths too so that you can see. There are a couple of ways that you can add voice narration to a Prezi presentation. If you are using a PC or a laptop, you can go to Start, All Programs. There's a folder called Accessories. Under the Accessories folder, there is the sound recorder. When you click on Sound Recorder, you probably are familiar with this dialog box that opens, because this is the same sound recorder that Microsoft PowerPoint uses. Unfortunately, Prezi does not have the capability to record within its own environment, so we have to bring an outside source. If you are using a Mac, you are going to have something similar to the sound recorder. It's called GarageBand. If you haven't used GarageBand in the past, you may need to download it. Another option would be to use your cell phones and a program that records your voice notes, for example. You could record there, send your voice notes to your email, and then download from your email to your hard drive and then bring it into the Prezi environment. But for this example, I'm using Sound Recorder. If you find it too difficult on your Macs to use GarageBand or one of these other methods, I suggest going to the main campus to do your recording so that you can use a PC. So here we have the dialog box, and it's as simple as pressing the Start Recording button when you are ready to say a few things about this path. So I'm just going to introduce my project as a planner. I was assigned a planner for this project, and the planner that I found is, and here you would say some descriptive words about the planner that you found. Once you say stop recording, you're ready to save, and I am going to save this to the desktop just so it's easy to find. And since this is associated with path number 1, I am going to call it path number 1. I actually had one existing, but I want to replace this file. So you would probably begin with typing path number 1 because you don't have an existing path number 1. So I'm saving that. It already exists, but I do want to replace it, so I'm saying yes. So now I have path number 1 recorded and saved. Now I'm going to go to path number 2, where there's a picture of a planner. I may want to say a little bit about where I found it. So I'm going to, I can see that in my tray, my icon for my sound recorder is still there, so I'm going to start recording again. I located this planner in the cafeteria of Northeastern. So you just want to say a few words. Again, I'm going to save this clip to the desktop. Since it's associated with path number 2, that's how I'm going to save it, as path number 2. Path number 3 starts to talk about the analysis phase, and here is where you would say a few words here. But in the path is where you would add your voice narration that completely explains what you're talking about here. So again, I'm going to bring up my sound recorder, start recording. I will start off with the analysis phase of the Ed.D process. Of course, you would go a little bit deeper into your analysis. This is just for demonstration. I'm going to save this to the desktop again, and since it's associated with path number 3, I'm going to call it path 3. Once you do that for every frame that you would wish to add voice to, or every path that you would like to add voice to, then you're ready to actually bring the voice that you have recorded into the presentation. And the way you do that is you click on the path of which you want to add the voice to. You go to Insert, Add Voiceover to Path Step 1. Find on your PC or laptop where it's located. So here's my path 1. Open. And when I do that, Prezi opens it for me. I know that I have recordings for paths 2 and 3 as well, so I'm going to add those. Insert, Add Voice. Find where it's saved. Here's path number 2. I'm going to do that for path number 3 as well. Insert, Add Voiceover, Desktop, path number 3. And as you can see, they're now loaded to the paths that you've designated. If you would like to play them, you can play them here. If you would like to delete them, and let's say that you added the wrong voice to the wrong path, you can delete it by pressing the garbage can, or you can listen to it by pressing the play button. I was assigned a planner for this project, and the planner that I found is, and here you would say some descriptive words about the planner that you found. Okay, so everything seems to be working well there. I'm just going to put it in presentation mode to see how it's looking. I was assigned a planner for this project, and the planner that I found is, and here you would say some descriptive words about the planner that you found. I located this planner in the cafeteria of Northeastern. I will start off with the analysis phase of the Ed.D process. Okay, so you would go on and narrate, add voiceover narration to each of the paths so that you have a complete presentation. And in my next screencast, I will show you how to embed that into the discussion forum. I hope this presentation was helpful to you. Please let me know if you have any questions. See you soon.